Hi everyone, my name's Victoria and welcome back to Her Happy Mind, where I am taking everything that I learned in my Master's of Positive Psychology and showing you that happiness isn't just luck, that it's skill. And on today's episode, we're really going to be diving into how, after listening to this, you will not hate your brain. Okay, and you can share this with people, you can watch this a few times, but by the end, you're going to be able to really understand your brain and why it's really designated to be negative. So, on average, every single day, we have about 60,000 thoughts, and most of them are negative. Okay, there's been research of how our brains are still wired to be negative, are still wired to be frustrated and anxious and on high alert all the time, right? We've probably heard, the flight or fight mode. And even if it's 2025, we have the newest iPhones, we have the biggest TVs, we have all the recent social media updates, we have a beautiful laptop. Our brains do not update. Our brains do not get a yearly update on how to function better in this society, in this culture, at this day and age. Our brain doesn't get that like our phones do. And so sometimes people get really, really frustrated at themselves of like, I've been working so hard on this, or, the classic of I've been to the gym like for a few months now and I don't see any results. And same thing goes to when you are trying to become more mentally fit, right? I've been practicing gratitude for a few weeks now. I've been practicing being more mindful, or I've been practicing meditation, and my brain is still like, like monkeys in a china shop, like nothing is working. And it's really because our brains do not have the reset button. It does not get, the iOS update from Apple, monthly. I don't know how many times that I have to update my phone, and I hate doing updates because it takes so much storage, but it would be nice if our brains did have a update that was relevant to the times. But to be honest, guys, our brain is still stuck in glacier programming, which means our brain is still the same brain that we had when our ancestors were cavemen, or during that time, right? When saber-toothed tigers were roaming, big mammoths were there, a lot of crazy times were going on. And our brain is still in that era of survival mode, of protection, of belonging, of community. And so that is what our brain is used to even today, right? We might have a roof over our heads. We might have food on our tables. We might have friends. We might be in a relationship. We might have all these things, right? It's so much safer now. If it's thundering, we can go in our homes. If there's a snowstorm, right, we have people cleaning off the roads for us. So we live in such a safer world, and we still have these ancient thoughts. You might hate your brain less because now you understand that the brain that you have in your head is the same brain that our ancestors had thousands and thousands of years ago. And so you might be a little bit more like, like I'm going to be kinder to my brain a little bit. But Victoria, like there's just always so much negativity no matter what. And there is a beautiful article. It's called Bad is Stronger Than Good, and you can find it in the Journal of General Psychology. And this article is great for understanding our mind, specifically the glacier brain, because it shows that negative emotions are more powerful than good ones, or the we're going to go with the article, so bad and good. So our bad emotions are so much stronger than our good emotions. So you remember bad moments longer and quicker than good moments. So for example, if you get into a car crash, you will always remember that car crash. When you get into the car, when you get out of the car, when you are driving, when you're at the gas station, at a certain point of where you got hit or how you got hit, these will always be in the back of your mind. And that's just another brain signaling of like, I'm trying to keep you safe and I'm trying to keep you aware. But then when we have good moments, like for example, for me, like I loved my high school experience. It was something that I absolutely loved, had such an amazing time. I was on all the sports teams. I had an amazing group of friends. And looking back now, like over like what, 13, 14 years ago, I can't remember really much any of the good memories. I remember a few of them, like prom, a little bit of graduation, but back then, like that was my whole world. And now I'm like, oh my God, but I can remember negative moments that I had in high school, or when something was wrong, or when Vanessa and I had to get separated in our high school. classes because they thought it was better for twins not to be in classes together, which could be a whole other research. But for me, that was like a huge dramatic thing. So I remember that clear as day when my mom was like, hey, like this year you and Vanessa are going to be taking different classes. And I was just like, what? Like, what is going on? But those moments I realized, I recognized really quickly. Missing the bus in the morning, clear as day. I remember that, my mom, like, and my parents just being like, you have to hurry up, you have to hurry up, you have to grab your shoes. And I'm like, yeah, but I have gym class and I have to run back to the back of the house and grab my shoes, and the bus is already gone. And then my mom's just like following the back of the bus, trying to like catch up to it. Those are clear as day. But all the sports games that I won, all the fun memories, all the laughs, all the giggles, like just like crying so hard because of how funny my friends were, like those I don't remember. And it's just a true testament of how this article, bad is stronger than good, is, because even in the article it shows that bad parenting is stronger than good parenting, because we react as children faster to punishment to reward, which is very interesting. Recall negative memories faster than good ones. For you, maybe it's in relationships. So when you're getting into a new relationship, you constantly think of the negative of your past relationship, and so you can never move past that, or you can never trust the people again because you think of the memories of the past. And clearly we know that's unhealthy, but naturally that's just what our brain does. And so I don't want you to be like, yeah, but like whenever I get into a new relationship, I'm always thinking about how this person cheated on me, or how, this person just got up and left. That's so normal. I want you to just take yourself and like give yourself a pat on the back or hug yourself a little bit more, because that is so normal. But then what it's telling you is that you need better self-regulation skills, which we'll get into, but better self-regulation skills so you can then change those thoughts. Because you can think these thoughts, but you instantly have to catch them, and then you have to change it and then move on. So this is called cognitive reframing, where let's say I think a thought, what's something, okay, classic one. I go up to the mirror and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so ugly. Like I have pimples on my face. Okay, first is not just to keep going about your day. First is to stop. Notice what you just said to yourself, how you called yourself ugly because you have pimples on your face, which is natural. Reframe it. It could be like, right now, I need to practice more self-compassion, or right now, this is what my face looks like, but I know, after my cycle, my face is going to clear up. It's not the end of the world. I'm still beautiful from the inside. Acknowledge it, and then you can go along with your day. Or I'm so fat. Stop. Think about what you just said. Reframe it. That's fine. I've been going to the gym more. I've been eating healthy. I'm going to see a difference in my weight very soon. And then keep going. If it's a negative emotion about your likes on videos, or the followers that you don't have yet, they could be a simple reframing. They are not coming yet. That's the biggest one that I like to tell myself in the growth mindset is yet. Three letters, a powerful word, yet. I'm not good at this yet. I'm not at my at a weight that I want to be at yet. I don't have great skin yet. I don't have the perfect boyfriend yet. These are all things of training your brain, of being like, oh, she's not set in stone about this. She's wants to grow through it. So that's something called cognitive reframing. And it's a beautiful practice of just being more alert, changing it, and then going and moving on. And so going back to the glacier brain, if you are here today, if you are listening to this episode, it's probably because, or honestly, it is because your ancestors were the most anxious, frustrated, on high alert state constantly, and they were able to pass down their gene. And I love giving this example to my students because it gives such a good representation of what your brain is going through, or how you actually got here, and how, if you were like, it's like kind of like a reward, like, congratulations, your gene has made it to 2025 because your ancestors were cautious and anxious and constantly like looking around to make sure that there's nothing there to hurt them. So let's take this, like, thousands of years ago, or in the glacier, since we're talking about glacier brain, let's think of our number one threat, right, were these big mammals, right? There were big animals. There was, we'd come out of our caves, or we'd come out of our tents, and our first instinct was like, look both ways to make sure that nothing was charging at us. A saber-toothed tiger wasn't out of like on the snowbank, like waiting to hunt our whole family. So most of us are on high alert all the time. We're on high stress. We're on very anxious human beings because naturally our brains were designed to keep us alive, right? If we to keep us alive and to have belonging, right? If you did not have belonging during thousands of years ago, you wouldn't have made it either. Like imagine trying to get through the ice age. Imagine trying to get through like the caveman era by yourself. You wouldn't have made it. I don't think anyone made it because they wouldn't like if they did, they're not here to tell the tale because that's first really rough, really brutal time to be by yourself. So when we lose friends or we lose a partner or we just feel like exiled by a group, especially in high school. That's why girls feel it so strong of like that sense of belonging is so important, even if we don't like them or even if they bully us all the time and we still stay with them. We have such a control of like, I don't care. I just need to feel like I belong somewhere. And that's engraved in us because of our glacier brain. Because if we didn't belong somewhere and if we got kicked out, like, good luck, sis. Like, I don't think you'd be making it a long time. And I like, as much as I find that humorous, it's just like, it's like I relate to it so much now in high school instances or in adult instances or in relationship instances that we stay longer in certain things because at least like we feel like we belong to someone and we're not by ourselves. And sometimes people feel like we bounce, to people, to friendships, to relationships, to girlfriends, to boyfriends, to whoever. And it's because of that sense of belonging. And if I go back to that sense of fear and anxiety, like if you were like, oh, like I want to pet this furry, like saber-toothed tiger, it looks so cute. And like his nice little like teeth that are hanging out of his mouth, they look so pointy. Like I want to go and touch him. Like you already know what happened. Like that person wasn't cautious. They weren't thinking like fear first. They were thinking like, oh, I want to get something out of this, or I want like pleasurable moments. They would have got eaten, right? So the people that survived were the ones that were like, we're not going close to that animal. We're staying far away from it. If we can, we will hunt it and kill it because if not, it will kill us or our family. And if we can't, we will take our things and we'll move away. And so we still do this in human activity today of like, if you're constantly in high alert, that's just because your brain is still wired for survival. And so it's not something that, I always say that anxiety is a misunderstood emotion and over medicated emotion as well, because we kind of misunderstand what the role of anxiety is. I don't know if any of you have seen the Inside Out movie, but the role of anxiety really shows us, and I'm not talking like if you're clinically diagnosed with an anxiety condition or a disorder, like I'm talking more to like the people that have high anxiety and like, you know, why do I have that? Or some days I don't have it and some days I do. Or when I hit this instance, it makes me feel anxious. Or when I do this, it makes me really, I'm speaking to like, because I have anxiety, but I know that it shows me that I care about something, right? If I didn't have anxiety about a exam, then it shows that I didn't care about it. If I didn't care about um being like, if I was like, oh, I don't care if I'm late to class, then that shows I didn't care about the class. If I'm anxious on going on a first date, it's because I care. I'm like, okay, like I want to see how this goes, or I want to see like what's gonna happen after. Like, is this gonna like it's going to be my person, or if it's not. So it shows you that you care. But sometimes we think that anxiety is like out to get us, and with our glacier brain sometimes it is. But hopefully by now you understand that your thoughts are just in survival mode of the past generations that had a way different lifestyle to try to get us here today. We live in such a comfortable lifestyle today. Well, comfortable, like, we have a roof over our heads and we have food and we don't have everything killing us. Like, we're the top dogs in the food chain right now. And we still have these thoughts. So what positive psychology does is that we try to get you out of the survival mode. We try to work your way out of the downward spiral and get you back balanced. So it's literally what we are designed to do as practitioners is try to get you back to your state of well-being and then try to increase an upward spiral. And so I carry this emotional wheel. It's been on my lap this whole episode, and I was like, I can't forget to speak about it. So I carry this emotional wheel with me all the time. I have it on my phone, and then it's on my desk, so I see it. And so I don't know if you see it well, but there are 6 emotions. Okay, so I'll go with you. Like this one is joy, the green one. We have surprise over here, like blue turquoise. We have sadness, anger, fear, and love. So we really have like just 2 solid emotions that are like positive, and then we have like fear, anger, sadness, and surprise that are more kind of on the edge of like the negative ones. But we like there's a bunch of emotions that we feel throughout a day as a human, and we feel almost a lot of these every single day. You even if you see someone on Instagram or on TikTok and you're like, "Oh, but they seem like they're having such a happy life." Yeah, but they still feel these emotions, okay? They might just be better at hiding them, better at not showing them, right? Instagram and anything on social media is a highlight reel, but everyone feels these emotions, most of these emotions every single day, right? If you go through your routine, I'm sure that every single day you felt a little bit of love, you felt a little bit of passion, maybe you felt a little bit of you were like uh neglected, maybe a little bit, like maybe your dog didn't want to give you a little kiss that morning, or you just felt neglected from your partner because they maybe didn't say goodbye to you that morning. Maybe you have a little bit of grief that comes from your work or someone that is passing or someone that has passed. But then you go into maybe you come through a memory and you're like, oh my God, I hate this person, because you watch the news. The news is like is a whole other episode, but maybe you have like this rage because you just watched the morning news, and then you feel nervous because of that, and then you start panicking or feeling helpless about the world. But then you get into work and you're like, oh, I have such a passion to be here. I feel excited to be here. I'm enthusiastic to be here. And then you get home after a long day and your friends send you an amazing reel and you feel cheerful now. And then it's time to get to bed and you kind of feel speechless because, or in shock because, again, you saw something on the news or your friends texted you something like, hey, I'm going through this, or I'm going through a divorce. And then you feel guilty or you feel lonely, and then you feel disappointed because you didn't help them or you didn't know that was going on. And then in your dreams you had an angry dream, and then you woke like I could probably make up all these stories. You could probably go through your whole day being like, I felt this emotion, this emotion. So it's about understanding your emotions, understanding that you have good ones, you have bad ones, and knowing that the bad ones are always going to be more powerful. However, in the research, bad is stronger than good. They have found that to maximize the power of good, you need 5 good to overcome 1 bad, which is like the worst ratio possible, which is not too motivating, honestly. Like you're like 50-50 chance, maybe. No, you need to do 5 good things to overpower 1 bad thing. Okay, so maybe if you have again, I'm going back into like maybe your partner, you guys dealt with something negative in the morning or at night. You need 5 things to get over that one instant. Okay, and so maybe it's just being nice to each other throughout the day. Maybe it's cooking a nice meal. Maybe it's being more honest in your communication, sending a cute text. Maybe it's writing a letter when they get up or before they go to bed, and for them to find it surprisingly in the home. So I know it seems like more work, but when we're really working with or against our brain, I don't know really, because we're trying to like rewire it ourselves, and to understand that we kind of have to fight these negative thoughts is it can be challenging. But if now I'm leaving you with that little like tidbit of like, okay, if something negative does happen, you need like 5 things to unbalance that one bad event. And I also think that's why gratitude is so high in science of helping you just be more present, increasing your happiness, increasing your well-being, because you're focusing on the good. You're focusing, okay, yes, I had this crappy event. This happened to me. This is going on, but I still have 5 things or 3 things. You just have to do 3 things with gratitude. I like to do it at night. You could do it in the morning. But yes, that's still happening in the world. That's still happening to me. That's still happening to my friends. But right now, if I just sat down and became present, I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful for that. Um, I have a beautiful family that I'm forever grateful for, and I have a fridge full of food. That shifts. You could do the 5 and 1, right? You can do that too, and find two other things. That shifts your brain of like, okay, whoa, like we kind of take a breath of fresh air to understand that, yeah, life is never going to be perfect. Life's always going to be a roller coaster, but there's never bad days. There's just bad moments in a day. And we can't say we'll always have perfect days, but we always have a perfect moment in a day. We just have to be strong enough, and we just have to be more present and aware and mindful of what it is. And when it does happen, to be aware of it and to understand it and to be like, wow, that was a good moment, and not just going on your phone or just continuing the day. We have to be more present, more aware that what our brain is doing, especially when we have those click present moments, because then that shows our brain, hey, Victoria likes that, or Victoria took a break. Okay, I'm going to pay more attention to that. And then it's your brain literally rewiring itself to understand those moments more, or being present more, or to have more of those good moments. So it's not that happiness is luck, it's that these people that are more happier have built the skills. They have worked through these things, they have challenged themselves. It's not easy, right? Trying to rewire an old brain, it's not easy, but they've been able to find a routine that works for them, and they come out on top with more happier days. And so that's today's episode. I hope that after this, that even though we think 60,000 thoughts a day, I hope you have time to think a few kind ones every single day and help yourself rewire your brain one thought at a time. So be gentle to your brain. It's an old brain. It's like how we have to be gentle to our elders. We have to be kind to them. It's the same thing with our brain. We have to be kind. We have to be gentle to our brain. Self-compassion is really important during the stage when you're trying to rewire it. So be present, be kind, be healthy and happy, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye, everyone.